They're kind of like AirTags, but better in every way. Hello and welcome to Gears and Tech. The number one question I get when I tell people that I've been renting out my RV camper on apps such as RVEzy or Outdoorsy is, aren't you worried it's gonna get stolen? And then soon after that they say, and don't you think people are gonna trash it? Now I can fix the first problem, but I can't fix the second. So let's talk about the problem of tracking your RV. Now, those of you who don't care about tracking an RV, you may have other things you want to track, such as a boat, maybe a loved one, maybe a car, maybe one of your teenage driver's cars. On this channel, we reviewed a product a few years ago that shows you exactly how to track your teenage driver's car. And we've been using that device for the last couple of years to just keep an eye on the driving habits of my young, inexperienced drivers. But now that we're going into the world of RV rentals, I've got a new problem, and I'm wondering, can trackers, such as those that are designed to be used specifically for cars, be used on other devices, such as a boat, such as a camper trailer, such as an RV? And today we're going to explore exactly that. But first, we need to do an unboxing. So inside this box, I have a number of devices that I have obtained for the purpose of tracking an RV. And I'm gonna show those to you. Now these are provided from a company called Carlock. Now, those of you who have seen my other review, you know that I reviewed a Carlock device a couple years ago already. This particular one, I think is best suited for my RV. And that is because it has a waterproof housing and it's connected up using two wires, positive 12 volts and negative ground. Very easy to hook up to anything that runs basically a 12 volt car battery. But this only currently works in the United States. For my Canadian or overseas viewers, this one might be the one you're after. This is the same Carlock device, but this one plugs specifically into an OBD2 port on a car. Now you may be wondering, well, it doesn't do me any good since my RV or my boat doesn't have an OBD2 port. Well, that's where something like this would come in. This is an OBD2 power adapter. So it'll plug into your OBD2 port and give you the 12 volt output that you need to power that device. Now we're going to explore these in a little bit more detail, but I want to show you kind of everything we have here. And then we've also got these guys. Now these are wireless sensors, and they are used to enhance the protection on your Carlock device. They can't be used on their own. They have to be paired with the Carlock device, and they provide vibration feedback for early detection of attempted theft on your trailer, car, boat, whatever. So we'll talk about kind of how we can implement those. Now that we've done a basic unboxing, let's explore these two products in a little bit closer detail, see what they're all about. And I'm going to start with this one. This is the one I'm most interested in because I think it will work the best for what I'm looking for. Let's open this guy up. Now it says void if seal is broken. Obviously this seal has not been broken yet. Anyway, we're going to break it, so we'll avoid that now. And we'll see what's inside here. So right off the bat, it includes an activation serial number. Now here's the thing. These devices, you purchase them from Amazon. I will put a link in the description. They come with your first 30 days of coverage, and then you have to pay for a subscription. So the device itself is actually quite inexpensive. They're about $50 or so. Then all we've got is this device right here. This is more or less the whole device. It is a waterproof IP68, I think. Set on here, IP65. Water resistant, so you can install it in an outside application where it will get splashed and get dirty, but not where it's going to be completely submerged in water. Let's see what else is in here. It's just instructions that tell you exactly how to install it, but installation is very, very easy. You just connect it to the positive and negative of the battery and you're good to go. There is a QR code which will give you more detailed instructions if you need those, but overall, you're probably not going to have a hard time installing this. Now let's look what this guy has and what the big difference between the two are. So we'll do a quick unboxing of this guy, and you're not going to expect to see anything too fancy. This one also has the activation card to activate the device, and it's got the device itself. Now I gotta say, this device is actually a lot different than the one that I reviewed before. This must be a generation 2 or 3 or 4, but it's definitely a newer generation than the one that I had last time. The one I had last time was much bigger, so this one's a lot smaller, which is definitely nice to see. In the bottom of the box, we've got probably the same instructions. We do more or less have the same instructions. This one says look for the OBD2 port and plug it in. Now that's great if you're gonna use it on a car that has an OBD2 port, but if it does not, then this guy comes in. This is a $10 add-on that Carlock will sell you directly, and all this does is basically, let me show you. I can plug this in like this, and now this is essentially the same as this. One major difference, this one is not going to be waterproof at all. So you do want to install it somewhere where it's not going to get wet, which won't be a problem for the application that I'm planning to use it, but it does give you a positive and negative terminal, just like this guy already has, which allows you to power it up. Now, both devices have a built-in battery backup, so even if they are removed from the power supply, they will provide location status for a number of days before the battery dies, and they will give you a warning that the battery has been disconnected. So you will know right away somebody has tampered with it, and depending on how you install it, you will know that it will have been tampered with on purpose. Now, how exactly do you monitor your, in this case, RV that we're going to install it on when it's gone away from your home? So they have an app that you can install. It works on your Apple device and your Android device, and it provides real-time status updates of the location. Now, I have this currently on my teenager's car. So the nice thing with this app is it shows you exactly where the device is anytime you open it up and check, but it also shows you where it's been. So you can click on a previous route and you can see exactly where they went. So in this case, they went from Staples in Airdrie to Walmart in Airdrie, and we can see the exact path that they took. On the bottom there, we can see a little bit more details. So I know that they drove at a top speed of 53 kilometers an hour, average speed of 26 kilometers an hour. It took about 8 minutes and 39 seconds, and they traveled about 3.8 kilometers. Obviously, this is a short route. This is the app installed on my teenage son's car. The nice thing is it also gives a driving score. So he got a driving score of 100 out of 100. So he's doing excellent with his driving. In the case of tracking your RV though, this will tell you if the person is driving excessively fast. It'll tell you if they're cornering fast, accelerating fast, braking late. It'll give you all kinds of information just from built-in shock sensor that is on this device. And this is the same for both devices. The nice thing about tracking an RV or a boat is that they've always got a battery on and it should always remain charged. And there's plenty of great spots where you can hide these things so that nobody even knows that they're being tracked. Now, you could put a sign to say just a heads up, this is being tracked, it's our equipment and we want to know where it is at all times, but I don't know if you really have to. The big difference between these two, as far as what I can see, this one has a little slot here that lets you pop out the SIM card. So I can pop in and out a new SIM card, whereas you can see that right there. Whereas this one, it may have a SIM card slot in there, but because it's waterproof, they don't make it easy to get to. So I could potentially pop all these off and then get to a SIM card. I don't know if I want to. And it does have a waterproof LED to show that it's powered up. This one, like I said, I think will install a whole lot easier. And we're gonna explore the install on an RV in a different video. So if you came here looking for the install of these on the RV, unfortunately, you've come to the wrong video and you've watched a lot of this video to find out that we're not actually going to install it. I just wanted to show you guys kind of an option that I've selected. Now, that leads me into the conversation about AirTags. Why not just use an AirTag? Now, AirTags have a lot of limitations that you may or may not have thought about. First of all, if you're using something like this to track something as important as a very expensive vehicle, boat, or RV, do you really want to take the chances that the AirTag is going to work? And to understand the chances or the risk that you're taking, you need to understand how this works versus how an AirTag works. It is a cell phone device, a cellular device. It has a SIM card. It has an always-on data connection with all of the cell phone carriers in your country. Now, this particular one is supported in USA and Canada. If you're getting one overseas, then it would obviously support overseas SIM cards Because this is connected to the internet, it's just like a cell phone. And just like a cell phone, it always knows where it is. It has a built-in little GPS, and it tracks its location and reports its location all the time as long as it has a cell phone connection. The beauty part is most of North America has cell phone connections now. If it goes through a spot where there's a dead zone, you will see it disappear, but it will reappear again when it gets into a cellular zone again. So the chance of you losing tracking of that device is very, very, very slim. Now let's talk about AirTags. AirTags are little Bluetooth devices. They connect through Bluetooth to Apple devices and only Apple devices. There are some apps that have in the past allowed AirTags to work with Android phones, but I don't know if those even work anymore because I don't have an Apple device, I only have an Android phone. But most people out there know somebody or they themselves have an Apple device. So an AirTag seems like it might be a good idea. You could simply pop an AirTag onto your RV, your boat, whatever, your teenage driver's car, and you could track that. But that only works if that AirTag is within range of an Apple device and the Apple device is set up to receive AirTag data. You leverage their cellular connection to send the actual location of that device. The big problem with that is you're taking a chance that there's an Apple device nearby, and Apple devices have been updated so that if there is an AirTag reporting location within the proximity, they now warn you and they say, hey, there's an AirTag in this area that is broadcasting locational information and you're potentially being tracked. Now, that could cause alarm for some people, and they actually have apps where they can go searching then for that AirTag, find it and toss it out, and you'll never find the AirTag again, and perhaps you might not see the trailer again. Whereas this is discreet. If you hide it somewhere where nobody can see it, they have no indication that it's being used. And that goes for either one of these devices. They are completely standalone. They don't count on somebody else being able to relay that information. And for that reason, for your expensive equipment, these are the way to go. If you're tracking something you don't care about, like your car keys or something like that, then who cares? Throw an AirTag on it and you're good to go. But for something more important, this is the thing to do. Something else that I will touch on is using an old cell phone. So we actually used to rent our boat out for a lot of years, and I actually had an old cell phone that I got a data-only cell phone plan on, and I had a tracking app on that cell phone, and that worked pretty good. But you got to think, an old cell phone is going to cost more than one of these things anyway. And the data plan for this is actually quite inexpensive. It's not that much. So the cost of admission for this is just so much lower than trying to use an old cell phone, hide it somewhere. This is designed where you could put this really anywhere you want. This guy has double-sided tape on the back so that you can stick it up underneath somewhere and connect it up. I've got some ideas about where I'm going to install it, and we will explore that further in the install video. Now, the one part we didn't talk about are these vibration sensors. Now, these are mostly made for when you're installing this on a car. So they can pair up with the car. You can stick it on the door so that when the door opens, it will trigger a vibration alarm, and you can stick it on a trunk, a hood, wherever. Using it on an RV, I'm not totally sure where I might or might not use it. You could potentially put it on the inside edge of doors for your storage doors and stuff. So if somebody opens up a storage compartment, it will trigger the alarm. Even if they're not trying to drive away with it, you'll still get an alarm that the store has been opened. And I may use it for that. I'm going to explore that further in the future. Now, there are other car tracking devices that work in a similar way to this. And really what makes Carlock better than the rest of them, I'm not totally sure. What I can say is that the price of Carlock is really good. The monthly cost is some of the lowest ones that I've seen, and overall my experience with the product has been really good. So it's the one that I'm sticking with to track my RV. If you want to see more videos about how we're using devices such as this and some of the other things we're doing with the RV, make sure you've subscribed to the channel because we've got a lot more in store. Hey, thanks for watching all the way to the end of this video. We hope you enjoy the content in this video, and we'd love to have you come back. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And for those subscribers who are looking for that extra special thing that you can do to support this channel, consider joining our members group. That's where we're building this community, the Gears and Tech community, where we can all enjoy content together. you'll get special perks, which we'd love for you to check out by clicking the link down below. For those of you who are just happy to watch the video, that's okay too. You can check out some of our other content right over here, where we've got some previous videos that have already been uploaded and enjoyed by many of our viewers already. We do hope to see you again. This has been Gears and Tech. Have a great day.